Вот это муслякалка.
Here's our kitty.
Наш красавец.
Our pretty guy. Pretty guy. Mansour is almost 4 years old. 3 and something. He's about 300 kilograms.
Красавец ты наш. Красавец. Он скучает, как ребенок.
Pretty guy. Handsome, but he misses me like a child. He likes when you're kind and gentle to him. Give me your paw.
Малыш.
You kid?
Малыш.
Kid. You're a kid. Me and the guys, we have several planes and we fly away from Moscow every weekend. We fly to this airfield, work on them, fly around. So once, as we arrive to this airport, we saw a bear cub running around.
Ты пришел.
So you came.
Кто это такой кусака?
Who's biting here? Who's biting? Airport staff had found him that week. I don't know, maybe some hunters had left him. We found a vet, he told us how to feed him, and we started feeding this cub from a nipple. We tried to find a shelter for him. We knew he was a wild animal and he would grow. We had to do something with him. Hey Mansour, you got bitten? In the face? Yes. We found Pozhitnov. There are scientists that run a rehabilitation center for bear cubs in Trapetsky City, Tver region. They have a special methodology of raising them, and in autumn, as they gain enough weight, they let them out in the world. But the key moment in that rehabilitation is that the cub must not contact a human. And when we called them, the first question was how the bear reacted to a human, how he behaved with a man. And then he said they were not taking him. He would definitely survive, but we won't be able to instill a sense of fear and danger towards a man. So when freed, the bear would go out to a village to see people, like friends, and he'll be shot. That's why they don't take such bears. Hello. Ouch, don't bite me. Don't bite me, you wet bear. You've grown up. He's chasing butterflies, you fool. So he had already been living in the airfield and you just tamed him, right? He probably had lived there. Someone had played with him. I mean, we didn't just find him. Pretty guy.
Пока он был до этого у людей. Потом в аэропорту, на аэродроме тоже.
So yes, he had seen people before. And in the airfield too. Well, at first, it's a cub. Everybody plays with him. A little baby, like a child. So the guys there didn't know. Let him go or he'll spoil the sound. Get off! Where are you going? Come closer. You think he wants to? Well, come here. Come here, come here. Look, we had to feed him every 4 hours like a baby. We cooked various dishes for him in the kitchen. When we couldn't feed him at night, he would brawl asking for food. That's why everybody at the airport took care of him. The owner of the airfield named him Mansour. In the Altai language, that's something like Mikhail in Russian. Bears are usually named Misha, Mikhail around Russia, and here it's Mansour. Unusual. The cub grew. At first he walked around the airport wherever he wanted, then he started ruining everything. He's like a little barbarian. You either play with him all the time, or he'll find something to do. Give it to him. Let him open. He can do it with no problem, with such clothes.
Up, check, Eric.
They chained him at some moment because they made a house for him. It was for his own sake, so he wasn't hurt by a propeller or a car and didn't break anything. And later we'd think what to do with him.
Ну и дальше думать, куда его.
We got in touch with the Ministry of Natural Resources in the Tver region. They said, we'll help you get him to a nature reserve. But eventually, some strange people arrived, took his ears, and dragged him into a van. He ended up in a hounding camp. What is that? Actually, these are illegal places, camps where they train dogs to hunt animals.
Своих собак натаскивают на зверье.
Его травили собаками?
Was he attacked by dogs? He wasn't. They didn't manage. They had a grown-up bear at that camp, and obviously they were looking for a new bear to replace her. What happened next? So we went to that hunting camp. You say we. Yes, because it's like working with planes. It's a teamwork. The same with the bear cub. I'm not alone. I wouldn't be able to do anything alone. So we took 3 cars to get there. Our goal was to save the bear. We arrived and said, give our bear back. We gave them some money and took the bear cub.
Этому товарищу, ну и забрали медвежонка. Но он готов был без денег отдать.
He was ready to give him back for free. Well, he was alone and there were 4 of us. We got back to the airfield. He took a drive in an ordinary car. He was gazing into the window for 2 hours.
Вот, очень обрадовался вообще, когда его забрали. То есть он там...
He was so happy when we took him. We decided to clean him up first as he spent some time in a small cage. He swam in a pond, ran around. I noticed that the emotions of this wild animal who has not been tamed at all were similar to humans. He felt the same joy, the same commitment. I mean, his emotions and feelings are very close to humans.
Ну, это не надо лизать, щекотно же ведь.
Hey, don't lick my ear, it tickles.
Ради интереса, нырни, я хочу посмотреть, что с ним будет.
Can you dive? I just want to see what he'll be doing. So what? He dived to see you swimming. Yeah.
Ой, яй-яй-яй.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Kisses.
И чего, мы купаться будем или обниматься?
Come on, are we swimming or hugging? What a cutie. Yes, he keeps his clothes away. just touches with his paw. I've never heard him make that noise. Yes, he missed us.
Ну, вернули его, а с ломанием-то как?
You got him back. What about breaking everything? Scientists from the Moscow Zoo gave us a hint. They told us to make an electric shepherd. These are special columns, usually used for cattle, but they also use them on Kamchatka for bears.
На столбиках натягиваются провода.
The columns are connected with high voltage wires, but the power is not so high, so it is not dangerous for a man or animal. It just shakes a bit.
Поэтому отгородили большой, там, метров 200.
So we made a circle of around 200 meters. This was a kind of a coral with his house in it. And the bear was walking around that coral freely. He could walk if he wanted, or he could play as he had a playground there with balls, tires, logs. He could climb, break something, chew.
Любит воду, то есть зверь чистоплотный. Вода ему физически необходима, то есть вначале обходились.
He likes water a lot. He's a very clean animal. He physically needs water. At first he was okay with a tub. Then we had to build a pool for him. What bath did he have at first? It was a cast iron tub from an ordinary apartment. We dug it, made a little pond and poured in some water. He could swim in it like in a pool.
А чугунная ванна с ней, ну, он ее...
Had we put an inflatable pool, he would have torn it. Well, he dug it up out of the ground, but we placed it back. Soon he wouldn't fit it. But he needed water. What did we do? Naturally, we had to build a pool. So we did it. And now he has a real pool in his coral. There's a water filtering system, chlorination, just like a human pool.
А дальше он как маленький ребенок, то есть все вокруг чем-то
He
занимаются.
behaved like a little child. People around him were doing something, and he was there. He was poking around the tools, pieces of iron. He was so happy to steal a cloth or something. Unsurprisingly, he was really glad to be a part of the team, and he didn't feel alone. We walked him into the forest. He was small, and he was afraid to get lost. It's much easier to walk him on a leash than a dog. At first he rests, but when you say come, come, he follows you in and out of the forest.
Размер он был, ну вот буквально вот такого размера, маленький, когда он был.
He was this small when he was young. It was easy to take him by the scruff. He didn't feel comfortable when we took him under his paws. He was biting. By the scruff, he doesn't feel pain, unlike dogs and cats that may not feel comfortable. Even girls could easily carry him with one hand. I think he weighed around 5 kilos, now he's around 300. In short, he's as big and strong as a grown-up man.
Сколько людей, короче, для него
How many people does he think to be the closest to him? I think, in general, there are about 15 people, a team. I'm called his father very conditionally. It's just I'm the only one who kept a close contact with him now. Show how thick it was. Yes, it was this thick. So we're not worried about this place.
Так что за это место мы не опасаемся. Беатрис еще не видел.
It's been a long time since he sucked my hand. Just like in childhood. I think he's never quit doing that. No, he quit. Last year he never did that. But now he misses me.
На втором году, вот, на третьем уже стало меньше.
The second, the third year he was doing it less. But before that he didn't let my hand go for half an hour. This year it didn't happen that often. Maybe just a little bit.
Чуть-чуть вот. Взрослеет уже.
Ну, короче, долгий перерыв пошел на пользу.
He's growing up. A long break was good for him emotion-wise.
Видишь, он.
Yes, you haven't licked here yet. You licker.
На третьем году жизни мы перебрались на другой аэродром.
In his third year, we moved to another airport in Kaluga region. We built a big enclosure for him because everybody was afraid of him. It's one thing when a 60-kilogram bear is running around and another when he weighs 200 kilos. Now he lives in this enclosure.
А откуда деньги, средства?
Where do you get the money to take care of the bear? At first, we paid from our pocket. I knew that the whole life of this bear would depend on his popularity. The more popular he is, the more people know about this bear, there are less chances someone would want to harm him.
Поэтому мы стали про него, ну и плюс у людей большой интерес.
So we started talking about him. And people got interested. They came to the airfield to see the bear, to get to know him, to talk to him. We were talking about him on social networks, and people were willing to help. At first they were saying, can we buy something? We said, well, bring some berries or nuts. Then people started sending money. We even had to open a bank account for the bear. We obtained a bank card for the bear, and I knew we needed a project to show people what we spent their money on. So we started a public accounting to show how much money we got. Anyone can visit the website, find his transfer and learn what his money was spent on. Thanks to this, we managed to build the pool and the enclosure. All of it was built with the money of donors. How did they know about Mansour? Social networks. You mean he became... I read a book to my child, The Famous Dog Team. So he became the famous bear Mansour, yes. And that helped to get money for him. Practically all the support came thanks to his fame from concerned people.
Удалось вот построить ему вольер, сад сейчас высадили.
We managed to build an enclosure, plant a garden next to it, and the whole infrastructure, the pool, the water. Now he has a large enclosure in the forestry part of the airfield, which is divided into two zones to take care of him safely. I mean, we close one part of the enclosure to clean up the other part or to put something for him there. He's got his own pool with a water filtering system. Also, there's internet connection to watch him 24/7 with several cameras.
Можно посмотреть, как он живет.
Да, можно смотреть. Многие люди сидят там круглосуточно смотрят.
Сейчас, когда он стал взрослым,
Can we see how he lives? Yes, we can. Many people watch him 24/7. And now as he's grown up, there's only you or not? No, it's teamwork. I mean, I couldn't do anything on my own. I'd have to live with him all the time to take care of him. Otherwise, he has no chance.
То есть он хочет кушать каждый день, там, надо за ним следить, надо что-то сделать. И сейчас это командой.
I mean, he wants to eat every day. You have to take care of him, do something, and you need a team for that. There are many people from the very beginning. That's why we do it together. But it's only me who keeps direct contact with him. Only I go inside his enclosure and play with him or something. Unlike a dog, bear is not open to a human being.
То есть он не ждет от тебя команды, он не пытается, не стремится ее выполнить. С ним можно найти...
He's not expecting any orders from you. He's not trying to do what you say. The only way to contact him is to make him interested. You can try to give something to him. But first of all, before contacting, you have to pay attention to his mood, condition, evaluate your own condition. You can't go inside if you're nervous or negative. He'll copy that mood and nothing good will come out of it. But if you feel he wants to play with you, then you can go in. At first he shows that he's been missing you. He sucks and licks your hand. Trainers told us not to let him suck hands, because that's what all the bears do. I tried a lot of things to stop him from doing that. I wore gloves, I used some harmless drugs on my hands, mustard, pepper, everything. He sucks anyway. He tears off the gloves and gets angry on them. You're so cute. You're a cutie teddy bear. Give me your hand. Mansour ate some eggs before bed. I've got to go. You liquor. It's a 5-year-old bear. Seems like grown up, but he's still a child. Yeah, I know, you're so cute. One hand, the other hand. This is how he sucks a hand.
Когда с ним вот играешь, вот с нашим, во всяком случае,
When you play, with our bear at least, he's not interested in any toys or sticks. He wants to communicate with you.
А как вы общаетесь?
общение – это бороться он. Ну, когда маленький с ним...
How do you communicate?
Сейчас с ним бороться невозможно.
Communication is wrestling. When he was young, it was fun to wrestle him. Now it's impossible. He's too heavy. He puts some weight on you, and you're under 100 kilos. Even if it's a third of his weight, you still can't fight him. So we've eliminated such games. Usually, he lies on his back, put his paws up, and I pull them. That's the kind of communication we have. Oh, you're so handsome. Pretty boy. Yes, and hands.
У зверей один из каналов общения – это пасть.
Another communication channel for animals is their mouth. And it is obvious that even if Mansour plays with his paws, the main communication goes through his mouth.
Взять в рот, потянуть. При этом столь грозный вот
He wants to bite and poo,
измеряет силу.
but he knows the strength of his teeth, so he tries to be very, very careful. Pulls by the sleeve or trousers painlessly. How old is he now? Now he's 5 years old. How long do they live in general? Scientists say in the wild they live around 20 years. In zoos they can live up to 50 years because they have vet service and good food. Are you attached to him? I am attached to him. Also, I think maybe psychologically he chose me, so yes, we're attached.
Но насколько это опасно, безопасно? Просто вообще
But is it dangerous? Is it safe to communicate with him? There are various stories. For example, the Berbera family story when it all ended in tragedy. True, it's a sad story, but people don't go into the details. Let's analyze what happened there. They had a lion, King, the one who was shot in movies. They took him and healed him when he was young, and he lived with them with no problem. The problem was with the second lion, King the Second. Also, the head of the family died, and also they had a puma in the house.
Да, они остаются в семье там у супруги.
Yes, they had a puma. They lived with the wife and children lived with all these animals. And as far as I know, the attack was provoked. Their neighbor was drunk and he was burning something on the balcony. The animals were nervous, locked in the room where the tragedy happened.
Ну, в общем, если вернуться к медведю, насколько это все-таки безопасно?
Let's get back to the bear. How safe is it? I think it's safe. Because we have examples, not only in Russia, but from abroad too, when a person had a white bear.
Нужно оценивать состояние зверя, настроение зверя. И
You have to assess the animal's condition, his mood, and be respectful to him. Do not instill your opinion on him. He's a personality, and in that case, it is possible to keep contact with the animal.
Олень спал вроде бы как, если есть видео такое.
да, я вот, то есть вот.
I think I saw a video when he slept on your knees. Yes, when he was hibernating for the first time, he didn't understand what was happening to his body. That's why in his first hibernating, he was falling asleep just like a baby. I went into his house, I lied next to him, and he slept on my knees. Then I was just crawling out from beneath him, leaving him sleeping. So, the baby sleeps. He will sleep like that the whole winter.
В этом году тоже я там с ним, ну вот пытались.
I tried the same this year. We tried to put him to sleep, but he slept only 4 days. And then he came out. Another interesting story happened to him recently. I went into his house to clean up, and he also came in. I cleaned up, and he started to suck my hand.
Он там, давай руку сосать. Я говорю, ну ладно, ложись, садись. Уже темно.
I said, okay, sit down, it's getting darker. And he had brought in a lot of hay, making a bed for himself. I sat on that bed, and he lay next to me on my knees. And then he started sucking my hand. I felt like I was falling asleep myself.
Вот, спиной прислонился к стенке. Так вот он меня головой придавил.
He held me with his heavy head, and I felt how he was snoring. I mean, a grown-up man fell asleep practically on my knees. I spent 1.5 hours like that. I fell asleep too, but I felt pain in my back.
Я не знаю, как это объяснить, кроме как тем, что медведь испытывает, в общем-то.
I can't explain this only by quite strong emotions of the animal, very similar to those of a human. Lie, lie, baby.
Ложись.
I gave my jacket to Mansour. Hope he'll fall asleep. Lie down. Lie. Oh, you cutie. What a cutie. Here's how Mansour sleeps on knees. Sweet dreams, baby. Here's how a bear sleeps. He fell asleep in just 10 minutes. Is there anything that can be changed for good in his life? Isn't he alone? Does he need a female bear? We were thinking if we should castrate him or not, and the vets told us to castrate him only if he has any disease. Bears do not have clearly expressed sexual affection. Do not show him a female and he'll be fine. We do not want a female bear because we won't know what to do with the cubs. These will be babies born in captivity again. We'll have to do something with them, send them somewhere. And we don't have a goal of creating a zoo at the airport. With our bear, we just had no choice. We only had to create comfortable living space for the bear.
Сейчас в России нет центров реабилитации для медведей. То есть в Европе, в Штатах это есть, в России нет.
In Russia, there are no rehabilitation centers for bears. They do have them in Europe and in the United States, but not in Russia. Such bears, like from a circus or a cage, have no place to go. That's why there's a need of creating rehabilitation centers where bears would be held far from a human contact, somewhere in the woods, where they'll have their own reserve. Do you think you will be able to create such a rehabilitation center at some point? I really hope that we'll come to that at some point. I hope we'll have a top-level center, just like they have in Europe or Ukraine.
И дальше, то есть медведей обездоленных можно будет куда-то определять, где они там свою жизнь будут в каких-то хоть приближенных к естественной среде условиях. А если у нас получится там...
Miserable bears would be able to live there very close to the wildlife. If we manage to create such a center, we'll be able to take such animals and create for them comfortable conditions. Mansour, come here, Mansour.
Вот еще покажу избушку, которая пока Мансуром используется для сна.
Let me show you the house Mansour uses for his daily sleep. Look, he's coming with us. He has brought hay here and put a stone as a pillow. There's a lot of hay here. He made a bed.
Такую себе лежанку.
Yes?
Ты лежанку создал?
Did you make a bed? Just look at him. He's asking for some fondling. Who's got big teeth?
Ой.
Teeth, teeth, teeth. Mansour's teeth. A nose. Ours, teeth. Big teeth.
А, эти зубы.
In such games, you can see if the teeth are good, if there's a need to call a dentist.
Стоит ли обращаться к стоматологу?
They're okay, right? You're healthy. Bless you.
Стал образовываться уже свой коллектив, не только летчиков, но и просто любителей.
Another team has formed around the bear, not only the pilots, but animal lovers. So why not keep doing that if we're interesting and it's a good thing? We want to do something good in our lives, something that would stay with us as a positive experience.
Ну, допустим, я тоже хочу сделать много прекрасного в жизни, но мне некогда.
Well, I want to do something good too, but I have no time because I have a little child. I need to go home while he's not asleep, or I need to go to a shop to buy a lot of products. And I can't do a lot of good things because of the routine. Do you have a family? Not anymore. Well, as they say, that explains a lot. Yes. Yes, like Tom Sawyer. Remember when he was painting the fence? I do. It's the same. Just do it yourself, show how great it is, and then you sell the brush. In my case, I don't sell, but I give people the opportunity to take part in all this. I don't judge you at all, trust me. I just want to say that it's a fact that you're free now. Yes. Did you have a family? Well, once after university, when everybody was getting married, I got married too. You're single now. Well, for now. Do you have a candidate? Hopefully.
А вы женитесь и вряд ли сможете столько времени уделять своим прекрасным.
When you get married, will you be able to allocate so much time to your great projects? I don't think so. But otherwise, the life won't be that interesting. I can't stop flying or contacting the bear. First of all, how can I leave the bear? He's like a child to me. I can't leave him. If I quit flying, I will die at home. The plane needs care too. You have to fly it.
Ну, вот я смотрю, девчонкам им тоже интересно. И летать, и медведь интересен.
Well, some girls are interested in flying, and the bears too. It's boring to spend a weekend in Moscow. You'd better get somewhere to an airfield, to nature, where you have all the planes and bears.
Грузовик сели, поехали купаться все вместе. Ну, это...
We used to get together, jump into a truck and go swimming somewhere. That was great. Or just decide to fly to the Caucasus to see our friends. Go see Elbrus.
Вот, Кавказ безумно красиво посмотреть. В Крым также вот летать.
Caucasus is an insane place. I mean, Crimea. I mean, traveling. Plane allows you to spend 3-4 days to travel.
Я вспоминаю, есть известный диалог с Федором Конюховым.
I remember a dialogue when Fyodor Konyukhov was asked what makes you travel endlessly, and he said, "What would I do at home?" That's right. Absolutely true.